This is Amud Yomi Gemara and Shabbos Daf Kuf Zayin Amud Beis. We're on the bottom of Kuf Zayin Amud Aleph. We just finished saying that there's no machlekes between Rabbanan and Rav Yechon ben Nuri whether the Shemayna Shratzim have an or a high Klape Hilchas Shabbos. We know that they argue Klape Hilchas Toma, but the Gemara said that with regard to Hilchas Shabbos, we could suggest that there's no machlekes. And rather, everyone will agree that it has a hide, meaning that if you damage these animals, there will be a chiyuv. Says the Gemara, 2 lines at the bottom, really, we learned the number Aisa. For one traps one of the 8 shrotzim that the Torah speaks about, a chayvul ban, or you damage them, chayiv divrei Rav Yechon ben Nuri. So we see that they do argue. There's no hide, and not the Shvayne Shratzim. So says the Gemara, Adarabba, the Shratzim in the Torah says do not have a har. But what do we see? We see clear that Rav Yechon ben Nuri and the Chachamim are yes arguing whether these animals, whether the Shvayne Shratzim are considered to have an ar, Klape Hilchas Shabbos, whether there's going to be a din of Chavala if you damage any of these Shvayne Shratzim on Shabbos. Amar le Rava, so explains Rava, what does it mean that which the Chachamim listed? It just means there won't be din of Toma, but it's not talking about a din in Hilchos Shabbos. Mechlal. Says the Gemara, if that is true, even the ones that the Chum do not list are metamin. What did Rav Yechon ben Nuri say? No, just so finally says the Gemara, Ravada Baramasna, to Retachi explain as follows: the Chum even in Toma ein ar lema shamanu chacham. Continues the Gemara of Akati l'ni Shabbos le'pligi. So we're trying to say that they don't argue by Shabbos, they only argue by Toma and other dinim. But the Gemara does not give up, and 5 lines from the wide lines, the Gemara continues and says, really? Is that true that Lini Shabbos is no machlekes? Well, Tanya, we learned in a brayso. So you should have one of the shematzim in the Torah, or if you damage them, chayiv shratzim sheish lahem, oyros. What's this chabura that chaval you'll be chayiv for nitzas adam? Obviously, it's a wound that the bun collects the blood. His nitzra, it pulls together under the skin, even though it doesn't come out. So what do we see? We see that there's clearly some level of or that is din chavala. So we seemingly see that there is a machlekes in Rav Yechon ben Nuri and the Chum whether there's going to be or klape hilchos Shabbos. Amar Rav Ashi, man Tanakamas Rav Yehudi, does al basar gishsa, goes by the thickness of the skin. It's not Rav Yudaimer. Halta kechulda, the halta animals like the choyle, that what is no tuma on the skin. Aval Rabbanan de bli alei Rav Yechon ben Nuri linian tuma, linian Shabbos my delay. Says Gemara Yachi, hi de Rav Yechon ben Nuri, de Rav Yechonan umach gosai mi baile. It's not just Rav Yechon ben Nuri; it's others that share a sheet as well. Tonight. Answers the Gemara, you're right. So that's really how we have to amend the brisa. Says the Gemara, Boi mine Levi mi Rabbi. Now we go a little bit deeper. It's this din of chavala. As the Mishnah sounded like there's only chavala if you did something to an animal, did something to another person that created a lasting effect. So 6 lines down, first line is Machloiksai, asks Levi from Rabbi. How do you know that chabura is only one that does not, that stays, it doesn't go back, meaning it doesn't heal? My chabar buroisav. You're going to tell me refers to the mitzaira, that he has colored splotchy patches. That we learn for the leopard. Shall say a leopard and its colors. Ella must not be referring to leopard at all. Kivushi says the Gemara is referring to the skin of a kushi. Ma'ari to kushi the chazaris of chabura. Ein chazaris, that is only an isser chabura if it is a wound that sticks. For the fact that the pasuk equates it to a kushi who has a dark colored skin, that he cannot change the color of his sin. So we're talking about only if a wound has a lasting effect will there be this isser of chavura. Now, how far this goes, the halacha, we will leave that for now. We'll pick it up 10 lines down, the 2 dots. Shar shkatzim. We said if you chayvel them, there's no chiyuv. Says the Gemara, ha'harkin chayiv. For the fact that it says if you damage them, there's no chiyuv. That sounds like, but if you kill them, you certainly are chayiv. Mantana, Rav Yirmiyah Rav Elazar, the Tana was Kina b'Shabbos. You kill it a louse is kahiri gamol, like you killed a camel, and there is a chiyuv. Maskler Rav Yosef, I can't believe Rav Elazar. They only argue regarding a louse. They ain't a part of a rava. A louse does not reproduce. They don't argue with Rav Elazar, and they hold that you're chayiv. Shneim lo lamod elam me'elim. Says the Gemara, what's his machlekes Rav Elazar and the Chachamim with regard to killing a louse? They both learn it out from elim, from rams. Rav Elazar ke'elim ma'elim sheishbam the tils the shama. I'll call sheishbam the tils the shama. Therefore, everything is going to be chayiv. Rabbanan said ke'elim ma'elim the parim v'ravin. I'll call the parim v'ravin, and therefore these lice, because they don't reproduce, therefore there'll be no chayiv according to the Rabbanan. Amalei Abaye really says true of Akina and Badan of Rava of Amar Rabbi Yosef HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'Zan. Hashem sits there and supports. So it sounds like the Kinim are something that needs sustenance and reproduces. Says we know the Mikri Beitz Echinam. There's a species that's called the baits and the eggs of the lice, and that is what we're referring to. But they don't actually have relations and reproduce. Vatani it's Fuyu Beitz Echinim. Mina, the mikri beitzi kinim. That's the type of min, is the eggs of the lice. That's its own min onto itself. Says the Gemara of Hari Parosh. You're telling me that everyone agrees that you're chayiv for killing something, but ask the Gemara, what about a parosh, a flea? The bar of a rabba reproduces vitanya. So bar of Shabbos parosh v'Shabbos. So what do we see? According to Rabbi Yeshua, you're potter even for killing a living creature, even for killing a parish, a flea. Amar Rav Ashi, see the hareg is karamis. What's your kasha? We're talking about trapping, and you're asking about killing. Umar Savar Potter. Avalin Hariga, if you Rav Yeshua Maida, even Rav Yeshua is a Maida that if you kill an animal, irregardless how big it is, there will be a chiyuv. We're going to stop over here. We'll pick it up from Atzad and Letzerech the next year.